Hello everyone, I'm Laura, and in today's video, I'm going to summarize everything you need to know about the use of Tadalafil, the drug widely used in the treatment of sexual dysfunction. Tadalafil is a more modern version of sildenafil, which is Viagra, and both are used in the treatment of erectile dysfunction. Tadalafil is a phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitor and works by increasing the concentration of cyclic GMP, thereby causing a dilation effect, relaxation of the corpora cavernosa and vasodilation, so that these corpora cavernosa become more filled with blood, thus improving erectile performance. Regarding the onset of action, it's approximately 30 minutes. Its peak occurs after 3 hours of consumption, and it can last up to 17 hours. Regarding forms of administration, what is available in the industry today are the 5 and 20 milligram strengths. Other forms can be prepared at compounding pharmacies, lozenge, sublingual film, spray. Nowadays, some people even include Tadalafil in testosterone pellets, which are implanted subcutaneously. It's important for the patient who uses Tadalafil or will opt for this treatment to keep in mind that it doesn't work on its own. The use of Tadalafil, as with other medications for erectile dysfunction, needs to be associated with a stimulus, a trigger for sexual intercourse to occur. What are the indications for treatment using Tadalafil? In addition to erectile dysfunction, we can utilize this medication in the treatment of, for example, premature ejaculation. When one of the causes of premature ejaculation is erectile dysfunction, the patient feels insecure about the status of their erection and ends up having a faster ejaculation. So in these cases, we will combine Tadalafil with, for example, paroxetine. Another indication for the use of Tadalafil is in the treatment of BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, in symptomatic patients. In that case, we will utilize daily dose Tadalafil, which is the 5 milligram strength, to help improve urinary flow. Just an observation here. Nowadays, the use of Tadalafil in gyms is very much in focus, with the goal of improving physical activity performance. Initially, I will make another video in the future discussing this, but first and foremost, I want to say that I do not recommend it for several reasons that I will even explain further later. What is the correct dose the patient should take? There is no single correct dose when it comes to Tadalafil use. The commercially available forms can be adapted to the patient's needs. The correct dose will be the one that elicits a response, meaning the patient responds by having a good erection. Some patients use a mixed regimen of taking the daily dose with 20 milligrams on demand. Some patients only use the 20 milligrams dose on demand. There are those patients who use 5 milligrams daily, who use 5 milligrams every other day, who use 2.5 milligrams. This will depend greatly on the patient's performance. So the ideal is for them to always use the lowest necessary dose. Regarding the decision about on-demand treatment versus daily treatment, there is no single correct decision. The routine, the reality of the couple, must be taken into consideration. What is the frequency of intercourse? How the sexual life works to adjust what is best in terms of treatment. A very common question from patients is whether Tadalafil works for everyone. No, everyone. Unfortunately, Tadalafil does not work for everyone. We have literature data indicating that 35% of patients do not respond to this type of treatment. When we look at the diabetic population, this percentage rises to 44%. When we talk about post-prostatectomy patients following prostate cancer surgery, this percentage is even higher. The minority of these patients will respond to this treatment with a phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitor. And can Tadalafil cause any organic addiction? Patients who use it long-term have a lot of concern regarding this. Tadalafil does not cause any organic addiction, but it can, interestingly, cause psychological dependence. The patient can become psychologically dependent on the use of Tadalafil. That's why it's very important for patients who start using it to always have a strategy for tapering off the medication. Oh, but is it just stopping and going without? In fact, it can be replaced by other types of therapy, sexual therapy, vacuum pumps, or some other method that stimulates erection. Regarding the side effects of tadalafil, the most common ones are runny nose, nasal congestion, headache, body ache, back pain. Many patients experience these side effects in a debilitating way, but the most serious side effect is related to priapism, which is a pathological erection lasting over 4 hours, which, if not resolved, can bring permanent consequences for the patient. Given this more serious side effect, which is priapism, we cannot indicate phosphodiesterase inhibitors, tadalafil, for a patient who doesn't need it, for a patient without an indication, because they run an even higher risk of developing this condition of priapism. And finally, there is a very common question. Can tadalafil stop working? Yes, everyone, it can stop working. The body can become desensitized to the use of tadalafil, and that's where the issue of routine gym use comes in. Other causes for the loss of tadalafil's effect include the underlying disease becoming more severe, the dose potentially not having the same effect, which would require adjustment, or some psychogenic effects related to dependence on tadalafil with continued use. If you've made it this far, you've already understood how much male performance is directly linked to health and the right treatment choice. But what if I told you there's a 100% natural solution, without side effects, that addresses the root of the problem directly and can give you back the potency of your 20s? Well, it does. It's a simple, science-based method that has been transforming the lives of thousands of men, including those who didn't adapt to tadalafil or who are seeking something more natural. Point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen now, or click the link pinned in the comments, and watch this video before it's taken down. That's where you'll discover how a mere 7-second purple tonic can do what no other treatment has achieved. You no longer need to depend on pills or run risks with side effects. You just need to watch this video now, and then you decide. So, tadalafil is a very important topic, one that comes up frequently in our routine. If you found this video adds value, if it will help you, feel free to save it. Like it, comment below, ask your questions. Also, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications to follow the next videos. Best regards and see you next time.